Hello and welcome to this exciting talk today. My name is Colin Cooper, the founder of Boost Your Business Group. And today we're sitting with Lawrence, the founder of IICT, who's really the powerhouse behind changing insurance and memberships and helping natural therapists worldwide. So Lawrence, tell me that the short time that I've known you, you're this unfailing optimist that is always looking on life and projects and everything that you do with the glass half full or even overflowing. What keeps this motivation and this attitude?
Yeah, well, I'd say my main inspiration is my father in that way. So when I was growing up as a child, my father was, insanely optimistic with everything he did, and he would never see even something that was really a difficult situation was always said with this air of optimism. So that really rubbed off on me, and I also at a very early age got access to a lot of inspirational material books. My father read Think and Grow Rich, Power of Positive Thinking, and he really lived his life by those books. And so I read those books at an early age as well, but I think what I really feel is that the main driving force was his air of optimism, and that really rubbed off on me. So I apply that with everything I do. Yeah.
Do you still read those types of books?
Yeah, I do. I read quite a lot of inspirational books, but also a lot of books on strategy, business, and different ways to develop what I do. So I'm continually learning, educating myself. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what made you start IICT?
Well, IICT was really born with that view of that necessity is the mother of all invention. So a few years ago, I was running a natural therapy school, and part of that is the graduates were needing access to insurance. So I approached a broker, and at that time, I was really just dealing with one modality. But then I was being approached by other people who shared the business concept, and they were doing multiple modalities. And so this relationship grew with the insurance providers about how we could bring together multiple modalities. And so we started with then eventually condensed it down to a list of about 50 natural therapy modalities. And then over the years, that list has grown more and more. And today we have over 1,300 modalities, which is the largest modality list in the world. And we're quite instrumental in bringing together new modalities that are emerging, and people are creating them all the time. So we actually create a place for those practitioners to be able to get access to those recognition for their therapies in the marketplace.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you're not just based in Australia though either, are we? So
No, we're worldwide. So currently IICT is operating in 26 countries, and we have a lot of the main players like the US and the UK, but we also cover IICT in a lot of European countries as well. So really opening up in the EU now as well.
So really, when you're dealing with natural therapies, you're really at the forefront of seeing the change that's happening worldwide. What are some of the top challenges that you think natural therapists are finding today, not just in Australia, but around the world, in business and getting themselves out there?
Yeah, well, getting themselves out there is key, because that's really what people need help with. A lot of individual practitioners are really great at what they do, but when it comes to promoting themselves and being able to attract new customers, that's really where they need the support. So a lot of the work that we are doing at the moment is to instruct people in how to manage their business better, how to implement great strategies, and how to coach natural therapy practitioners so they can be great business people, not just great massage therapists or hypnotherapists or whatever the therapy is.
Fantastic. So you mentioned at the start about the books and that your father had been reading and you read at an early age, but I also understand that you've studied martial arts for a very long time.
Yeah.
Tell me how that's paved your business life and personal life and the disciplines that you've got into what you do today.
Yeah, so I've been practicing martial arts for nearly 20 years, and so I do Aikido. And in Aikido there's there's lots of different things. It's really about blending and harmonizing with the opponent. And there's two principles with that. There's the sense of being very direct. So we use like a wooden sword, which is like cutting through and moving through obstacles, taking action, those sorts of things. And then you have another weapon, which is a jo, which is like a wooden staff. And that's really flowing and maneuvering and adjusting. So if you're to use those analogies in life, it's the idea sometimes you need to take really clear decisive action, and other times you need to flow and harmonize and find a beneficial outcome. So the main idea is really about creating a harmonious resolution to conflict, and that's a principle that I like to use in my own life and how I work, not only in business but also in my community as well.
Could you maybe share a live example of maybe something recently on how that's done in business as an example? How you maybe had a challenge and used those principles to overcome it and that other people could follow?
Yeah. We've had lots of opportunities in business because there's always ups and downs and unexpected things that occur. So it's really important when obstacles come up to pause, not to react. So sometimes obviously you do need to take action, but to do that from a place where you're in your center, you're not reacting to the situation, but getting a really broad view and then looking at all of the different situations and then how to bring it all together so you can create a good outcome altogether.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I know with your teachings in previous conversations that we've had, you shared with me on some of the lessons that you've learned when you've been teaching children, and then you've been able to, say, apply some of those lessons into other areas of life and business. Maybe could you share one example?
Well, I'd say definitely patience is a really good one.
Yes.
Just referencing, teaching children in martial arts that you'll have an opportunity always to face yourself, and you can easily again react to what's, if there's chaos occurring in front of you, how to bring it all back, how to calm everybody down and so everyone else can be in your center. But you really have to do that from your own self. You can't do that by demanding it as such. It's like if you hold those qualities, then your environment starts to reflect those qualities. Yeah. So
do you think that's the same then in business, with running a team as an example, applying those same sorts of principles?
Yeah, absolutely. With your team, it's really like top down. It has to filter down. So as the CEO of the company, if I'm not emulating what I want to see in my team, then they're not going to be doing those, having those qualities. So it's really important that you are at the front line emulating what you want to see in your team. And if you really want your business to grow, you need to really have your team operating from a place where they're fully enrolled in the vision of the company. And if you do that, it's going to really rub off on how they interact with customers. So yeah, often I think business leaders look at how do we deliver better customer service, and that of course is very important, but it's more important to how do I look after my team, because if they're happy, they're going to naturally be happy with your customers. Yeah.
And that flows through obviously with the growth and everything that you're going through at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really critical, that there's a complete buy-in with all the team members to our vision and where we're headed, and that everybody's on the same page.
Absolutely. I think, with all the different businesses that I've worked with over the years, and I think it's critical with what you're saying there with on how it's so important to have your team working as a team.
Yeah.
I think often we see teams not working as a team, so to speak, and working below the line, and it can end up biting you in the bum afterwards.
Yeah, it can, yeah.
Now, I know how busy your schedule is, but I heard through the grapevine, a little whisper, that you might be working on a new book. Now, you're an accomplished author, you've got many books here that you've already done. I know how busy my schedule and your schedules can be. So how you, number one, tell us a little bit about what the book is about, if you can. And number two, how do you possibly find the time to write another book in your busy schedule?
Yeah, well, this is it. It's all about time. And so the book is a book specifically for people who are starting their own business. So it's a book primarily for entrepreneurs and how you can work on your business, not just working in it and doing the day-to-day, but a book really around strategy. So that's all I want to say about it at this stage, because I'm still working on it.
Fantastic.
But in terms of finding time, so I'm a father as well. I've got 2 kids and a wife and a house and all the day-to-day stuff, and then running a business on top of all of that. So for me, what works is to really go into lockdown, lock myself away literally, and just spend time, on a real sprint, just doing writing in a time where I'll be uninterrupted. And that's where I find I get most of my best work done. Also early in the morning, that's when I work best. That's where I'm clearer.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So with looking at, the different things that you've seen in business, if you were to say look at 3 core business tips that you could share today out of all the years of experience that you've had in business, what would be those 3 core tips that we could share with the audience today?
Well, I think it's really important to, first of all, build a profile so that you have an active following, particularly in social media. Facebook obviously is a clear winner there. So you're definitely building your profile, and not just building your business, but building your own personal profile, because that's what people connect with. They connect with the person, not necessarily the solution. Yeah. And that's having that idea of the story behind the person also really present. So one is, building your profile. The second aspect is really, I would say, around content creation. So giving back, a sense of generosity. What can you do to contribute and to give a lot of free stuff, because people always sort of have this idea that, I've got to do something and then I'll get something. But it doesn't necessarily work that way. So coming from a spirit of generosity and providing really valuable feedback to your ideal customer, that is going to reap massive rewards. And then the third thing I would say is really about, it's kind of similar to the first part, but it's really about a sense of building your tribe, a sense of community. So having a sense of building not only a database, but also about how you can create and surround yourself with like-minded people, that everyone's, again, aligned to this primary vision of what it is that makes your heart sing and what inspires you, and surrounding yourself with those types of people. That's your core inner circle, your community. And of course, once that's really strong, then that naturally filters out to everybody else in your circle.
That's amazing advice. I think that we can all take that and apply that into our businesses and life. Yeah. So, over the next couple of years, what's really in store for IICT and the things? I know that there's a number of projects that you're working on. Yeah. Can you share anything with us today that is coming up or over this year and next year?
Well, I think for us to create what we have, but really just expand it on a really global scale, and it's really aligned with our clear purpose to unite, inspire, and connect every therapist throughout the world, and we're really heading for that. So I really expect that our growth will take a very rapid upward turn in the next few years, and our ability to really connect and create a platform for natural therapists to really again have this sense of community, to be able to share and collaborate. That's really what inspires me, to bring that into fruition.
Fantastic. Yeah. So Lawrence, that's great information. So moving forward with this, what does the word success mean to you?
Well, I believe success is like having the ability to do what you want with whom you want for as long as you want. Yeah, it's that idea of not being time bound, so having the freedom to really use your time effectively. And that's something that we never get back. We never get time back. Yeah, we can get money, we can lose money, we can surround ourselves in all kinds of situations, but really that aspect of time is really important, and to use our time well. And that's also one of the areas I'm really interested in, is really around time management, efficiency, and working in a way that's going to bring optimal results.
Fantastic. It's a great answer. I think many people look at success in a dollar value, but they never really truly get it, do they? So Jim Rohn has a great story about chasing success like money. It's like chasing butterflies. It always eludes you. And as you mentioned with time, time is something you can never get back. Yeah. So with the expansion that you're going through, you need a really good team behind you. So what does the word team mean for you and the things that you've been doing and the success that you've now got? Yeah.
Well, team, I guess you could bring it into like an acronym, like each letter really has in itself some wisdom. So the letter T for team would be transparency. So that's the sense that everybody is aligned and on the same page. So it's not like you keep something hidden from your team, but you're able to enroll everybody fully in the vision for the business, and that everyone can just share whatever's there. So it's a collaboration that's there. E is about efficiency, being really efficient again with time and how you do things. So it's about creating systems that will create very succinct outcomes, really clearly defined. A for team would be action, taking action. A lot of people will tend to not take action, but just busy themselves with things that are completely unimportant and feel like they've achieved something, but they haven't really taken action on the key, priorities for the business and to really get those desired outcomes realised. And M would be the idea of meaning, that you have a deep sense of meaning. It's your why behind what you do. It's what gets you up in the morning, what inspires you, why you do what you do. That's that sense of deep meaning, which is really important. And if everybody has all of those aspects present in what they do and with their work, then we're all essentially coming to achieve our own goals and also the collective goals of the team. That's already present. So that's what team means to me.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. I've been privileged enough to meet your team and work with your team, and it's very clear that that's how they operate, with everything that they do. Do you believe that all businesses and all people can implement that into every aspect of their life?
I believe they can if they can get the right people, and that's one of the biggest hurdles, is actually getting all the right people. It's like you're going on a journey. You want to get all of the right people on the bus, and then you can decide where you're going. If you've got all the wrong people on the bus, then you're not going to have a fun journey to get to your desired result. So it's important to really vet people and get people that are there and really inspired with that vision. So how we recruit people is really this idea that we hire people for attitude, not for skill set, because you can teach people pretty much anything, but if they haven't got the right attitude, you can't teach that. So it's having the right people. It's really important. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Lawrence, thank you very much for today. I think everyone's got a lot out of it. I know that I have. And thank you for taking the time for this interview.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.